Hello. Hi, guys. Happy Thursday. Today is Thursday, May 5th, 2022. And today is the day of the Sun-Uranus conjunction. Yes? Welcome to Divine Conversations. My name is Eric. It is so wonderful to meet you. If you are new here, hello, hello. Welcome to the fam. And if you're returning, what is up, squad? So we're going to talk about this. I don't really have any sort of channeled messages or anything for the collective in terms of this energy. I really just wanted to come through and come live and connect with you guys. Say hi, do a little bit of a special session because this is a little bit of a special day. I'm not going to lie. It feels like it's a special day. I feel like, I mean, at least for me personally, as I've been watching the planets and progressing through with everything and paying attention and all that, I have been, I feel like I've been kind of gearing up for this, preparing for this moment. And so I just wanted to commemorate it for you guys, or for us, all of us as a collective, because I do feel like it's a big thing. It's a big thing in comparison to, or in relation to, not comparison, but in relation to everything that we've been going through over the last year since the sun hit Uranus around this time last year-ish. Actually, I don't even really know when that happened, but really it's more so along the lines of what has transpired for us as a collective as Uranus has been making this transit through Aries, really revolutionizing this sense of self, this sense of identity, this sense of who you are. I know for me personally, this really rocked my world because this energy, this conjunction of the sun and Uranus is happening right over my natal sun. So this has been rocking my world pretty hard. And I know many of you have witnessed it because you were here with me on this journey, but I went through some massive transformation last year. And really that transformation was influenced by Uranus, again, making its transit through the sign of Aries. Now, before I move any further, I do want to mention, for those of you that are new and that are not familiar with the form of astrology that I practice here on Divine Conversations, I focus, when it comes to astrology, I focus through the true sidereal system, which is quite different from mainstream Western astrology. And it's also different from Vedic astrology. There are some people that still say or believe or feel that Vedic astrology and sidereal astrology are the same. And maybe a previous version of sidereal astrology is fairly similar to Vedic astrology. That is true. I have noticed that. But, there is a big difference in the fact that Vedic astrology incorporates a lot of Hindu philosophy and all that into that system. But when I say true sidereal astrology, what I mean is a system of astrology that takes into account the shift that the natural shift that the planet makes on its axis over an extended period of time. It incorporates the 13th sign of Ophiuchus, and also it incorporates the actual size of the constellations, which is where we get the true title in this form of astrology. It's not an elitist type thing. It's just, it's incorporating the true signs, or the true size of the constellations, the true sizes of the constellations. Yes? So with that said, actually, let me show you guys. Hold on. The camera's looking a little blurry. It's looking a little blurry here on YouTube. So I'm gonna see if I can adjust that for a second. Hold on just a moment. I will be right back. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okie dokie. Alrighty, guys. Yes, that looks much better on my end. Hopefully that looks better for you guys. It's not as blurry. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I want to show you guys the chart ski, yeah? And actually, this is going to help you understand what I mean when I speak to true sidereal astrology. It seems that, oh, it's okay, don't worry about it. Let's just go into the chart and see what's going on here, yeah? Whoops, there it is. So this is the chart for today, Thursday, May 5th of 2022. This is about 6 p.m., 6:03 p.m. And as you can see right here, we do have the conjunction between the Sun and Uranus happening at 13 degrees of Aries. Now, when I speak to the true sidereal system, first and foremost, we do have Ophiuchus down here. Ophiuchus, in terms of this chart, is at the bottom, towards the bottom left quadrant of the wheel here. There's Ophiuchus right there. But as you can see, guys, look at the chart. Look at the signs surrounding this wheel. They are all not an equal 30 degrees. They're all not an equal in size at all. And that's what we mean here by true sidereal astrology. This is really how it looks in terms of our natural sky, okay? As if from the view of the sky from here on Earth. Now, we do have the conjunction between the Sun and Uranus in the sign of Aries, and that has been a pretty big thing. The Uranus has been in Aries for quite a while now, and the Uranus is going to be in Aries throughout the rest of the year. There is going to be another round of Uranus retrograde, which, just like the rest of the outer planets, that happens once every 6 months, so like once a year, for about 6 months out of the year. It's going to start around the end of August of 2022 and move into about January of 2023. But by the time we reach January of 2023, Uranus actually will be moving into Taurus sometime that year, okay? So this was going to be the last transit of Uranus through Aries for quite some time. And it's really been an energy of revolutionizing our sense of selves, our sense of identities. Like I was saying earlier, you know, I went through a pretty extreme change in personal self. I really got down to a lot of the core things, or a lot of the things at the core of my reality that were really holding me back, that were really causing me to struggle. I did so much purging, cleansing, clearing, and healing work over that Uranus retrograde last year. Uranus started its retrograde motion about mid to late August of last year and did start going direct again in January of this year. And it was a really rough moment for me personally. I will speak from my personal experience. And then we're definitely going to pull some cards, but it was a really rough experience for me. There was a lot of reckoning. There was a lot of coming to terms with a lot of things in my life. But I finally, and I will attribute a lot of this to the nature of the situation that I find myself in. I did move to Puerto Rico in June of 2020. Yes. And I've been living on my own here in this really nice 1-bedroom apartment up in the mountains. So it's been kind of the perfect place for me to go through this massive personal transformation. So I do want to say that, because I do feel like that, you know, that is something that is to be spoken to. Okay. Your environment, the surrounding environment, is definitely going to be either conducive or not conducive to a certain level of transformation that needed to happen, or is supposed to happen at any given moment in your life. But I will say that was perfect for me, because that's what I needed, because I really went through it, you guys. There was so much purging, so much reconciling, so much that I had never really been able to process or deal with or face, because I had so many distractions in my life. And I know I personally was in a position where a lot of the circumstances that I found myself in last year really helped to clear away or force me to stay away from certain distractions. And that really allowed what needed to surface to come to the surface. And so that's what I mean by this revolutionary transit of Uranus moving through Aries. Now, why else? Uranus, it has been in Aries, like I was saying. And Aries is the sign of the self. Aries is the first constellation, the first sign in the zodiac. Aries is all about the self, the identity. A lot of the time, Aries can speak to the ego, egoic propensities, self-preservation, and all that kind of stuff. So Uranus, being a planet of revolutionizing and liberation, Uranus is also associated, is the ruler of Aquarius. Uranus is a planet or is an energy that wishes to liberate you from certain restrictions that Saturn has put upon you. Uranus is the first of the outer planets that you encounter when you move past the, we'll say, floodgates or the harbor that Saturn has put into place for us. Uranus is the first planet that you encounter when moving into the deeper cosmos. And it is Uranus's intention to liberate you from a lot of the restrictions and the limitations that you experienced within the realm of Saturn, to help prepare you for deeper exploration into the cosmos, or deeper exploration into yourself, into the divine, into all that is. And in order for that to happen, you must be liberated from a lot of the restrictions and a lot of the conditioning and a lot of these structures that have been put in place, for better or for worse. Okay, for sometimes those structures were really good for you. I will say, in all cases, whatever structures you came up against that needed to be destroyed, removed, and or reworked did work for you at a certain time, at a certain period in your life. But now you are moving deeper, you are moving further into the cosmos, or you are moving further deeper into yourself, or into the existence of God, source, creator, of which you are part of. And so now a lot of those structures, those belief systems, those defenses, the blockages, whatnot, whatever that you developed over your experience up until this point, we'll say, have needed to either come down, be removed altogether, or just been reworked. And no, that was not easy. Okay, that was definitely not easy. It was a struggle, most likely. For some of us, we didn't have that much of a hard time, but for many of us, it was a big challenge, to let go of old belief structures, let go of old senses of identity. And that is why the title of this discussion here, or this conversation, is Welcome to Your New Self. Because with this conjunction of the sun, which does represent your soul, right? The spirit or the soul that you are beneath the mask of your identity, which would be your rising sign, and beneath, the subconscious mind that is a layer of you, which would be represented by the moon. The sun is your soul. The sun is the core of who you are as a being incarnated in this physical reality. And so with the sun conjuncting with Uranus at this time, this liberating energy, or this revolutionizing energy, blends with your sense of self. And because we had all of this extreme change within our lives as Uranus has been making his transit through Aries, specifically the retrograde motion of Uranus through Aries, which really helped to break away blockages or to open you wide up for this change to be facilitated. Now it's almost as if we've come full circle with the conjunction of the sun and Uranus, and now it's like we're able to really fully step into this new sense of self. And I will say, I have definitely been experiencing this. I am in direct alignment with this. Those of you that are over in Patreon here, you know that I did speak of something like this. There is a new chapter in my life that I am currently working on, and one of the examples of that is within love and interpersonal relationships. I'm not going to go into too many details, but Today specifically, and if you're over on Patreon, you'll probably be able to figure out what I'm talking about here, because I did talk about this in greater detail over on Patreon. By the way, if you would like to get extra content with me throughout the month, check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/divine conversations. The link to that can be found in the description box below. For as little as $3 a month, you can be a supporter of the channel and get extra content, extra discussions that you will not find here on YouTube. Yeah. But anyway, there is a certain cycle that I have actively closed out. I'm not, well, my higher self, my guides are saying, yes, you did close it out sufficiently. But there was a cycle that involved someone that I was involved with years ago. And a similar situation to that involvement arose in my life last year. I met this person last year. We did separate for a while, but then we recently came back together. And when we came back together this time, it seemed that our relationship was going deeper, getting deeper. And when we first met, I had already picked up, or was already picking up on the fact that there was a lot of similarities between me and this person and someone else that I was involved with, of which that ended back right before I started this channel. But because of my feelings and because of the genuineness of the connection, I decided to allow it to progress a little bit more until it got to the point where I was really realizing that I needed to end this cycle somehow, because it literally was a recreation of what I had experienced with a previous individual. So much so to the point that I was really starting to say to myself, Eric, you know how this is going to progress, or you have a good idea of how this could end up. And so today was the actual day that I actually had to have the conversation with the person and speak my truth in a very authentic way, which is a stark contrast to the previous cycle in which I did not do that. And we cycled together for about 9 years. And over the course of those 9 years, the whole time I was wanting to speak a level of truth that was ultimately going to take me away from this person, this previous person, but I never did that. And our relationship kept going and kept going and kept going. And over time got deeper and deeper and deeper until the moment where I actually was forced to finally speak my truth, and there was no salvaging of the relationship. So when the cycle presented itself to me now, I recognized it. And in this new sense of identity, in this new sense of self, I knew I had to speak my truth and not allow myself to go down the same path that I had. I don't know if you guys heard that, but that honk was confirmation. I had to speak my truth and not allow myself to go down the same path I had previously. And I did, and it turned out great. There was no animosity. There was no hate involved. We actually were very honest with each other about where we are as individuals and what we want. And I feel like it has only strengthened the relationship between each other, because we had enough respect for each other to really say what it is we truly wanted and how it is we truly felt. And we're still cool, so that's really excellent. So that's kind of a representation of what this energy is, you guys. This is a big revolutionary time. This is us being able to step into our new senses of this new self in order to step into a greater level of life, a greater experience in life. There have been many readers and many channelers out there that have been speaking to how May is a month where a lot of blessings are going to be coming through for us. And I highly believe that, mainly because we have this opportunity to recreate for ourselves. Now, also, we have this opportunity to recreate ourselves and to create more for ourselves. Now, with that said, I do want to talk about a message that I did channel for the collective, and this is something that we spoke of over on Patreon. But I had a question. I had developed a question about, what was it, Tuesday? Yeah, it was Tuesday of this week. Now, keep in mind, guys, if you're watching this after the fact, after the live stream, this is Thursday, May 5th. So I believe it was the 3rd. The 3rd of May. This has actually been a really intense week absolutely an intense week. Monday, the 2nd, was a day in which many of us were experiencing some pretty extreme emotions. Let's go back to the chart actually, so that I can talk a little bit more effectively about this. But on Monday the 2nd, a lot of us experienced a pretty extreme moment. We did have a conjunction between the moon and Mercury, which, where is Mercury? Oh, right here, which at the time was forming a trine with Pluto, who is now retrograde, while also, and was retrograde at the time, and was also forming a square with Saturn. And that was bringing up a lot of fears. And while the moon was moving through that transit, it was also trining with retrograde Pluto and squaring with Saturn. And so there was a lot of structure, there was a lot of fear, there was a lot of animosity, there was a lot of anxiety that was coming through because of that, mainly because of the retrograde motion of Pluto. That can kind of really mess with your mind and your emotions. And then with that square between Mercury and Saturn, there was some extra hurdles or extra strong energies to overcome. But with a square, you have to remember, you guys, that a square represents a challenge in terms of facing something that needs to be overcome, and you can't do it in the same way that you always have. You have to find a new way around it. So that was a pretty challenging moment. So this has been a pretty challenging moment for a week for many of us, right? I forgot where I was going with that. Oh no. I totally forgot where I was going with that. Oh, shoot, you guys. I lost my train of thought. There's nobody here in the chat. Is there? I hope that, is the chat working? Did I mess this up? I hope I didn't mess this up. But anyway, that's okay. I'm not really paying attention to that anyway. I totally forgot where I was going with this, you guys. I lost my train of thought. Hold on, it'll come back to me. It will come back. Oh, wow. This is a little embarrassing. I completely forgot where I was going with this. Anyway, but let's talk about that. So that was a really challenging moment for many of us, because we're in this energy of having found this new sense of self. And a lot of what was happening at that moment was a lot of the old fears and a lot of the old structures that we thought we needed to adhere to or whatnot, whatever. That was all kind of in the process of falling away. Okay. Aha! I remember now. So there was a question. So that all happened, right? That was Monday. Tuesday, May 3rd, was a day in which I was feeling a lot of frustration because I was very starkly aware of where I wanted to be and the fact that I just wasn't there yet. And in that moment, I was also falling into a level of contemplation of divine timing, and understanding that everything, or at least because of what I was feeling, definitely needing to work myself off, the extreme ledge there of self-pity and remind myself that everything happens in divine timing. But in that moment of frustration, I channeled a message from the divine to myself, but then also to the collective. And that question was, what are you creating for you? And a big message that has been coming through for the collective over this time has been, especially for the month of May, specifically in this current time period, a big message for the collective has been analyzing and understanding where it is you're putting your time, attention, and energy, and where you need to withdraw from those circumstances, those situations. And in that moment that I asked that question, or I was asked that question by the divine, I started to realize that there were a lot of circumstances in my life in which I was giving, and trying to work on building structures for others, but I really wasn't putting too much time, attention, energy, and focus into what I was building for myself. Now, case in point, I will be a little specific here in terms of the individual that I was speaking of earlier in this session, in which I needed to be very honest with this person about where it is I am in terms of romance, I guess you can say. Part of what I had come to the understanding of was I cannot allow myself to enter into a situation or a structured situation with someone who already has themselves established and established very well, because I'm not necessarily where I want to be established yet in my life. And I don't want to just enter into someone's situation and get settled there. No, I want to build a situation of my own, ideally with a partner. You know, I find my partner in crime, my colleague, my comrade, if you will. That's the phrase I've been using a lot lately. And we build together. I don't just want to enter into a situation with somebody else and settle myself there. And that was part of this whole question, this whole realization, this whole aha moment of what are you creating for yourself? So in this energy, in this moment of Uranus being conjunct with the sun at this time and helping to provide you with a level of liberation in terms of your soul, in terms of your sense of self, allow yourself to ask that question. What are you creating for yourself at this time? Now, I do want to pull some cards for the collective here. First card out is the Hanged Man. Yes, indeed, you guys, the Hanged Man. This definitely feels like an aha moment. In some cases, in me asking that question, I feel like there is a little bit of a whoa, mind blown type of energy here. Mainly in terms of the fact that I'm hearing or feeling or sensing, I've never thought of it that way before. What am I creating for myself? What am I doing to ensure my future? What is the future that I even want? Now is the time to really think about that, but also now is the time to put that into place. You do have the Six of Wands that's come out here. It is in reverse. I feel like in this energy, you guys, if you were really to sit down with yourself and really meditate on these energies and meditate specifically on where you find yourself in this current moment, what has led you here, how you've gotten here, and where it is you really want to be going in the future. Even if you don't have a clear view or a clear understanding of exactly where you want to end up, I feel like there is an energy here. Part of this enlightenment or this Hanged Man energy is realizing that you don't really have what it is you truly want. In some cases, this is a false victory. Why is this false victory here? The Six of Wands. Look, the Nine of Pentacles. Have you been manifesting from a place of authenticity, of independence, of truly standing on your own and thinking for yourself and saying, is this really what I want or not? That has been a major question. I have a second channel for those of you who don't know. It's called Mystic Unicorn Tarot. It is a love channel. And specifically for Cancer, I did channel the question, but is this really what you want? Now, you don't have to be a Cancerian to resonate with that reading. But if you are a Cancerian, I highly recommend that you check that out. But even if that question resonates with you, and even though that is really a love reading, you might want to go there and watch that reading and ask yourself, is what I have really truly what I want? Have I been manifesting from a place of independence, from a place of sovereignty? Or have I been following the crowd or following society or following what other people have wanted for me, what other people have laid out for me, what other people have said is acceptable or is possible? That's the really important part, I feel, to think of here. Because anything is possible, you guys. It's really all a matter of whether you believe it to be possible or not. Do you stand on your own in your own independence as a free thinker, believing that what it is you truly want is possible or not? What is this Nine of Pentacles? Can you give us a little bit more on this Nine of Pentacles? The Page of Cups, the dreamer energy. Have the courage to go for what it is you truly dream of. Why not? What do you want to say about the Page of Cups, Spirit? With this Nine of Pentacles, I feel like I swear, this Hanged Man energy here just feels like a strong aha moment. Often, those real aha moments are indicated by the Ace of Swords. But I'm feeling like this is an aha moment. This is like kind of a mind-blown moment in which you realize how stuck or maybe stagnant you have been. If you've been floundering around trying to create something, trying to develop something, but it hasn't really been working, it hasn't been getting off the ground, or it hasn't been going well, you've been reaching roadblock after roadblock. This is that type of question, or this is one of those moments that actually may awaken you to why you've been reaching all those roadblocks, because there's a need for greater balance. You have Temperance here. And Temperance is speaking to needing to work with the divine, work with the universe in terms of alchemy. There is a level here of anything being possible, you guys, but you need to give the universe the proper energies to work with from yourself in order for it to bring to you what it is you truly dream of. This is absolutely a partnership. This is not a situation in which you say to the universe, I demand this, that, and the third, and then it just does all the heavy lifting and bring it towards you. No, 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 darling. You are working hand in hand with the universe to manifest what it is you truly desire. Thus, you have to, the universe says, thus you have to give me the proper energies to work with on your behalf so that I can even be able to bring this to you. You've got to be primed and ready to go for us to hit the ground running once the time comes. Temperance. I want to talk a little bit more about the Six of Wands in reverse here for the collective. Six of Wands in reverse. King of Swords. Objective. I want to say objectional. I don't even think that's a word, but objective thinking. Okay? Being clear and honest about the facts. What is causing you to feel unhappy? What is causing you to feel dissatisfied? What is causing you to feel a lack of victory? A lack of satisfaction? Next, you do have the Two of Cups with this. Are we entering into a love and relationship type of energy? Are we starting to realize in the collective here that some of the relationships that we've been in or that we've been manifesting actually have not been really the true ones that we wanted? I'm feeling like for some of you, your ideals, what you want or need or desire in a relationship is changing. The type of relationships that you used to go after or go for are changing. For others of you, you're starting to realize why you haven't been experiencing lack of victory in your love and romance sectors. And there is a strong level of taking responsibility there for you. I feel like you are taking ownership. That has been another big point for me lately, as the sun has been approaching this conjunction with Uranus. There have definitely been energies within me that have really been taking ownership of where I find myself, what it is I have been experiencing over my life, and the challenges that I've been facing. You know, and this has been going around the collective for a long time recently, for quite a while recently, but you know, there has been a lot of talk between many readers that have been talking about, you know, witchcraft and black magic being put upon you in order to stop you, in order to block you, in order to block your manifestations, in order to block your money, this, that, and the third. And I'm sure there are people out there that do practice certain things, but there's also a level of needing to take responsibility. And that comes into play in terms of understanding that no one can really block or stop you unless you give them an open avenue to do so. If you allow yourself to believe that someone else's energies, someone else's wishes, someone else's prayers, someone else's magic, someone else's spells, or however you want to describe it, if you allow yourself to believe that those things will affect you, then honey, those things are going to affect you. And part of taking responsibility is, if this fits into your realm of existence, maybe it's not necessarily believing that or not no longer believing that they can affect you, but in essence, doing what it is you need to do to protect yourself from said things. Either you can take responsibility by saying, that's a load of malarkey, you have no power over me, or I recognize what you're doing and I am taking the proper steps to protect myself and not allow myself to be harmed by you. So with that said, in terms of this Two of Cups energy here that's come out with this Six of Wands in reverse, okay, there is also the King of Swords. Understanding why you may have been to blame or where you may have been at fault in terms of things not working out in your love and relationships. And that absolutely, I will say this, you guys, because many of you that know me, that you know me from the very beginning, I used to be a twin flame reader, and I'm absolutely picking up on twin flame energies there for some of us. It's not all about the masculine from the feminine point of view and how terrible and misaligned he is and how toxic he or she is and blah, blah, blah. No, the feminine has her own toxic, misaligned elements that she needs to take responsible for too. All relationships are a two-way street, guys. What do we want to say about this King of Swords? What can you say about this King of Swords, please, Spirit? Ooh. The Fool in reverse. Interesting. Things haven't been able to get off the ground. However, what I'm getting with the Fool in reverse here, you guys, is a level of about to start a leap of faith. I do feel like, especially, you know, part of this Uranus conjunct the sun in Aries, this revolutionary energy is absolutely affecting our love and relationships. Actually, okay, Venus is in Pisces right now. Okay. But there is a level of, this is affecting us on a love and relationship level, because there is a transformation happening within our sense of self. Now, you could look at it this way, with Venus being in Pisces right now. Again, guys, keep in mind, we are talking about this from the true sidereal method. Yes. But with Venus being in Pisces right now, that kind of gives us collectively, universally, it gives us a intrinsic way of connecting with the deeper collective, or connecting with the people around us on a much deeper level when it comes to romance and interpersonal relationships, just relating with people. We have the ability to connect with each other in a deeper way, and much easier, I will say, with Venus being in Pisces right now. And that really is kind of perfect with this energy of the revolutionary energy that's happening for us on this in the realm of the self here, with the Sun and Uranus conjuncting in Aries. But a lot of the realizations that you're coming to here, King of Swords, Two of Cups, of how you may not have been able to achieve this victory. And I will use my life as a bit of an example. Part of me really needed to speak up for what it was I truly wanted, and not allow myself to either keep being led on by someone that I thought maybe wanted something else, or continue, from my point of view, and in taking responsibility, continue to lead someone else on, thinking that everything was okay, when in the back of my mind, I was saying to myself, something is not right. Something is not in alignment with what I truly want. And that was me stepping up and being objective and taking responsibility for my reality in terms of romance, love, and relationships. So whatever is happening for us here in the collective, and however we are taking responsibility in terms of this revolution that is happening in our personal sense of self, it is absolutely setting us up for a brand new cycle in order to take a leap of faith. Okay? I hope this is making sense. I want to pull more on that. Let's pull more on that, yeah? Okay. Nine of Cups in reverse, you guys, is the next card out. So this is really about what makes you happy. Where is your level of contentment? How can you fess up? How can you be direct and honest? How can you take responsibility for your sense of happiness or lack thereof? You know, many of us are very intuitive individuals here, especially those of us that are resonating with this channel, but you don't have to really be intuitive or strongly intuitive. However, I do feel like many of the people that resonate with this channel are going through a level of ascension, and that naturally is going to help you build your intuitive centers. But none of us are really so psychic, or maybe I should say none of us really should be held to a level of psychicness or psychic ability that says that you don't have to communicate with your partner. Why? Because they'll just know it all anyway. Nope. That is not acceptable here. That is a cop-out. That is gaslighting in many cases. That is not taking ownership, not taking responsibility for your personal level of happiness. How can you, in your relationships, and this just doesn't have to be romantic, you guys. This can also be platonic, friendships. Where does your discontentment, where does your dissatisfaction reside in your relationships here? And how can you take responsibility for filling that gap or filling that hole or being happier, creating a way for you to be more content? For some of you, that is going to create a whole new cycle in your relationship with this person, if this is a romantic situation, or with these people, if this is friends or family. For others of you, it's going to be the end of the relationship altogether, and you will be able to take a leap of faith into a new phase. Woo! Oh my God. Look at this. And so then I wanted to look at the bottom of the deck, and the way that I picked the deck up, a few of the cards flew out, and it uncovered the 10 of Cups, which was at the bottom of the deck, and then the 4 of Swords underneath that. Contemplation. Now, when I was talking about the new moon energies, the new moon did happen on April 30th. I was talking about how there was a level of needing to be solitary for those new moon energies. And I was actually saying that you might want to remain solitary just about until the Sun and Uranus reached their conjunction. And so this is kind of reverberating that. You may still want to take some time, if at all possible, however possible for you, take some time to just be with yourself. Contemplate, meditate, connect with your heart, connect with your higher self even, connect with your inner child, and ask yourself the question, what am I creating for me? What is the future that I want to see myself within, and how can I facilitate that? How can I make that happen? How am I blocking myself from making that happen right now as life currently stands, as my life currently stands? Wow, you guys. Whoops. Uh-oh, did I destroy things? No, I didn't. I just turned my caps lock on. Okay, it's done now. I want to pull a little bit more on this Fool energy. Anything else do you want to say, Spirit, for the collective? Yes, okay. The Ace of Cups. Love yourself. Love who you truly are. Love your nature. See, here's the other thing about Uranus. Uranus is the great liberator. Uranus is also associated with the sign of Aquarius. Uranus is now, in this day and age, Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. Aquarius can be a very weird and unique energy. And Aquarius promotes you to be your weird and unique self. So part of this new cycle that we are on the precipice of, that we are about to step into, take a leap of faith into, does also include a stronger relationship with yourself. That's also what this Two of Cups can represent. This Two of Cups can represent the bond, the union between masculine and feminine that is found within yourself. And there is absolutely a level here of needing to love yourself way more than you have allowed yourself to in the past, because that radical sense of love is absolutely going to help you with this radical sense of revolution, this radical sense of change that is going to bring you into greater alignment with your true sense of happiness. But in order for you to be in greater alignment with your true sense of happiness, guys, you have to understand who you truly are at the core of your being. And that is what Uranus is helping you to find, is helping to liberate you into. Anything else? Okay. The last card is the Aries card, the Emperor. And the message with the Emperor is that it is your decision, and it is your decision alone, because you are the master of your own domain. No one else has control. No one else has power over you if you do not allow them to have it yourself. So make this decision for you. Do what is right for you. Allow yourself to align with a truer form of yourself. Love yourself enough. Give yourself the permission to love yourself enough to align with a deeper sense of who you are, and then to follow through with that. Knight of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck. Commit to yourself. Commit to liberating yourself. Because, and what the divine is saying here is, because when you do that, you are committing to the divine. You are committing to God's source creator, because God's source creator created you, and you are a part of God's source creator. You have never been separate. God's source creator is living through you. So when you allow yourself to be liberated, freed from all of the restrictions that have been put upon you, maybe even you've put on yourself, to say, I can't be X, Y, and Z, even though that lives within me. When you liberate yourself in that sense, you're also liberating God. You're liberating source. You're liberating creator. You're liberating the universe. Because you were meant to be exactly who you are, regardless of what anyone else says about it. So give yourself permission to do so. Excellent, you guys. I do want to move to a closing oracle guidance here. I'm going to get that from the Crystal Mandala Oracle. Yes? 5 shuffles. 1, 2, 3. Closing oracle guidance, please, Spirit, for this Uranus conjunct the Sun, or I'm sorry, the Sun conjunct Uranus conversation. Yes? Closing oracle guide. Ooh. Okay. These cards are flowing pretty quickly, you guys. I mean, it came right out there. Oh, beautiful. It's card number 13. Archangel Ignacio and Tiger's Eye. Tiger Spirit Rises. And card number 13 is a number of death and rebirth. Or the number 13. Card number 13. But the number 13. Oh, okay. Okay, Eric. You can stop nitpicking yourself now. Okay, here we go. Let's read this. We bring you the gift of Tiger Spirit Rising. You are being empowered with a truth more potent than fear. Your spirit is rapidly expanding beyond what opinion and logic can contain. It needs to be free to run wild with divine grace in the world. Your life, your destiny, your divine fulfillment requires that you have the courage to roar for love, to refuse to be put down, to respect yourself, and to let your untamed, loving heart be free. Your spirit creates a field of divine electricity through your body and mind that can liberate others from conformity and social conditioning, allowing them to break away from systems based in control and fear. As Tiger Spirit rises, you excite and empower the Tiger Spirit in others to rise above conditioning as they discover the wild, divine spirit being they are in truth. I mean, that couldn't be any more perfect, could it? And that really is very important for us to understand, especially for those of us here that resonate with being light workers. Many of us here on the channel do. But you need to understand that you influence people just by, even if you don't identify as a light worker, you influence people just by being yourself. I call it through osmosis. When you allow yourself to be authentic, when you allow yourself to speak your truth and live your truth and let your light shine, you also influence others to do the exact same thing. And it's like a domino effect. It's a ripple effect. You really don't have to do, be, or say anything other than what comes naturally to you. That's really it. In many cases, just you being here on the planet and letting your natural personal energy just flow, just resonate, just do its thing. Oftentimes that is not only good enough, but way more than enough. Just by being here, just by being you. So go ahead and allow yourself to shine. Really, what is it that you have to lose? Because ultimately, keep in mind, you are eternal. Your body, your physical body, this physical meat suit, God bless it, that you embody, that you are encased in, that you are encapsulated in right now, sure, that's going to expire at one point someday. But your soul, your identity, your identity, your individualism, your individuality, that is eternal. I love you guys. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Happy Sun Conjunct Uranus to you. I hope you have a fantastic evening, a fantastic day. Please make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you're interested in a personal reading with me, I would be more than happy to set you up with that. I offer tarot readings and I offer astrology readings from the True Sidereal system. Also, if you've never seen your chart in the True Sidereal system, I would be more than happy to draw that up for you for free. Of course, if you would like an interpretation, that would be charged. But if you would like to get a reading with me, or if you would like to get your chart read, or just a copy of your True Sidereal chart, please make sure to email me. My email can be found in the description box below, along with a list of the tarot readings that I offer. Yes? But I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I hope you really allow yourself to give yourself the permission to find the level of liberation that really will serve you in the best way possible. Yeah? I hope you have a fantastic evening and day or night. And I look forward to connecting with you again. Okay, I'm going to stop talking now. Bye.